look at this beautiful IMG Scoria. Oh my God, this thing has gotten so incredible looking. I haven't really looked at it that much recently, and it's just gotten darker and darker. It's the only IMG Scoria that I have that is actually this black. Most of them don't get black. They kind of just intensify the black lines on them that will get blacker. But look at this tail. Oh my God. Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily, and guys, it is Friday here, although I don't know when this video might go up Monday for all I know, but it is Friday. And we got a busy day today. Pablo is off on Labor Day, as he should be, as all people who work should be, I guess. It's a day of labor, or a day of rest from labor, I should say. And it's the last day of the summer, I guess, technically, right? So everyone's got to go out and party and have a good time. So we're going to do some serious deep cleaning here in the facility. We're going to be doing all the big snakes. Pablo usually does most of the ball python stuff. I'm going to help him with the big snakes. We're going to go through all the boas and Burmese pythons. We're going to do all the grow-up boas. And you know what? You never know what I might film along the way. So you're going to get a little hodgepodge of this and hodgepodge of that, which is cool. Usually get some cool stuff when I'm kind of just like, oh, I forgot about this snake. Isn't this cool? You know, it's one of those days. And I think people always tell me they like those days when they're not really sure what they're getting. And then on Monday, or next week at least, I'm gonna do a video on how to identify the jungle gene, okay, and boas, because that's a real tough one for a lot of people. And I just learned recently, and I'm gonna show you the tricks of the trade. All right, let's go into the snake room and see what's going on. All right, look what Pablo's holding there. That is a long shed from a big snake. I didn't realize she's that big. This is our anaconda, Annie Hall. We got to get her out of here. Let's get her out of the cage. Let's show everyone. Since she just shed. That's a tremendous shed. That's got to be 10 feet, don't you think?
I think it has to be around 9 or 10 feet.
I mean, you're 6 foot.
Yeah.
That's almost to the ceiling right there. That's ceiling. It's
well,
probably a bit.
This is right at the ceiling.
Yeah, and then there's another little bit on the floor. It's probably about 8.5, 9 feet, I would say. Then, yeah.
It's missing a chunk.
Yeah, I think that's a 9 foot shed. That's amazing. You want to hold this? You want to hold Annie Hall? Or you want me to hold her?
You hold it.
You're just scared, a little scared of her right now. All right, here she is, Annie Hall herself. She doesn't look like she's that long. But
remember that the shed is going to stretch a little bit longer.
Yeah. She's look how nice she looks now that she's clean shed here.
Yeah.
I don't think we fed her this week. No, she didn't eat this week. So
No,
I gave her that dead. I left the dead rat in, and I guess she was still in the process of shedding. She didn't eat it. Yeah. She's pretty big. She's pretty big. She's getting thick too.
Yeah.
Look at this beautiful girl, Annie Hall. I had her since she's 1 day old. It's like my children almost. We got her in August of 19, so that makes her what? She's about 3 years old. She's a little older than 3 years old. And she was a slow grower. She really, really took her time that first year because remember she was only eating chicks, and she wouldn't even eat them every single time. I didn't think she was going to actually. I was nervous that she wasn't going to grow at all. Now she's eating extra large, or actually she's eating jumbo rats now.
Jumbo rats.
And she doesn't even look the least bit fat at all. But we only feed her like maybe one every other week or one a week, you know. Now I want to see her get big because now she's like, you know, she's looking cool. All right, we're letting her back in there. Annie Hall. All right, as we clean here today, I want to show you this super fire girl that I have. She's just enormous, this girl. She's got a lot more speckles on her as she's been getting older. She didn't have all these speckles. It's weird. Maybe it has something to do with breeding. She's big. She's a big girl. She's slugged out for me twice over the course of 4 years. So I don't blame her. I blame the males. We're going to try again this year. I put a male in actually with her earlier this, you know, and I thought I saw some locks actually. She's been eating like a fiend. You know, I kind of was feeding her sparingly the whole year, and then she's been eating like a fiend. So we're going to see if she goes this year. Like I told you, I didn't have such great luck with fire diamonds and super fires. But I'm intent. I'm persistent. I'm tenacious. I don't give up. I'll find a way. That's what everything in life is like that. Some things come easy, some things don't. If you give up, you'll never achieve it. So we're trying again. She's one of my favorite snakes, and I want to see her have a beautiful, beautiful litter of white babies. All right, cleaning. We got a beautiful Scoria here. This is my Scoria that is para het and het blood. We tried to breed her this past year. Doesn't seem like she went. We're gonna have to try again this year. She's big though. She's very big girl. Beautiful. She was the one I really wanted to keep. I kept two sisters back, but she's the one with the hieroglyphics. She's, I think, Egyptian. I think she came from Egypt at some point. But she visited Egypt because she's got some hieroglyphics on her for sure. So she's a big snake, as you can see. Though this is a big, big girl. These Scorias, some of them get really big and thick. And once again, I really thought she was going to go, but evidently not. So let's get her back in her cage here, and we're going to put some nice fresh paper down. And hopefully in 2023 we'll see some babies. Caramel albino carpet python, just fresh shed. That's why I had to show it to you. Really, really nice. These girls they held back a couple years ago, they're all starting to put some really nice size on now, and they're really coloring up nice. I actually held back a lot. I don't know why I did, because I figured I needed to refresh some of my, and she's 66% het Moonglow too, so, which would be het anery, or excuse me, axanthic. Confusing my boas and my carpet pythons. So I figured the more females I have that are potential het snows, you know, when I breed my snow male to them, we should be able to get some, you know, I'm trying to hit moonglows, obviously. We're trying to get reliable snows and moonglows. I want to try to get away from breeding hets and stuff like that and just produce like really white carpet pythons. And so I had to hold back some good stock. Females, we have a good male snow. We have another male snow who might even be a moonglow that I'm going to show you in a minute. And then once we can get those all breeding, you know, even if I don't want to produce 10 clutches of carpets a year. It's too much of a pain in the neck because a lot of them, they don't start eating as well. Sometimes you got to, you know, assist feed them for a while. But I would like to have like 2 to 3 nice carpet clutches a year with all white carpets, and eventually be able to start selling to you guys white carpet pythons. You know, I knew it was going to be a long-term project, but we're getting closer to it, and that's great. And this girl is going to be probably instrumental in helping us get there. All right, guys, I showed you a caramel albino before. Now this male is potentially a moonglow. Matter of fact, I had labeled him originally as a snow and his sister as the moonglow, but I think now, looking at it, I think his sister looks more like the snow and he looks more like a moonglow, and I'll tell you why. Because snows will have a little bit of yellow in them, but usually it's pretty well-defined yellow. This boy has yellow in him, but the yellow looks like someone took some kind of turpentine and watered it down. And that's what I think the caramel gene did to this. Now, if I had 2 copies of the caramel gene, he's not happy. If I had 2 copies of the caramel gene, I think we would have what's called a full moon here, and we would have a white snake. So that's the goal, obviously. He's not happy. He wants to go back in his cage. He's trying to constrict me. I think he thinks my hand might be food. But luckily, he hasn't bit me though. These guys don't really bite though. They're really. I've been handling them since they're babies. As a matter of fact, I think it's before you probably even came here, but I was hand feeding these guys, assist feeding them for at least a year. And now they obviously they're eating small rats on their own. And now they're starting to really put some good size on. So will this guy breed? He's 2 years old. He's over 2 years old. So I might try to breed him this year with one of my hets, my caramel double het moonglow. But there's no guarantee that he's going to, you know, be ready to breed. Sometimes these carpets need an extra, you know, year, especially when they're a slow starter, like he was. You know, he was eating pinkies for the first, you know, year of his life. So we'll see. We're not ready to breed. We got a couple more months. We'll keep feeding him, and hopefully, you know, maybe he'll come up to size. If I don't see any breeding action from him, I can always put back my triple het or caramel double het male back in with her. So, but I'm pretty psyched about this male and this breeding season for the carpets. All right, hypogranite Burmese Python here. All right, I have to do the Day Plumber Whisperer, Burmese Whisperer. You do the paper towel trick first, and we try to calm her down. Okay, because they like to blow air. Okay. Nice and easy. I used to make the little like cat sound when you call a cat, but that hissing cat sound sounds like you're hissing back at them, and they don't like that, so can't do that. Never look them in the eye. If you look them in the eye, they will probably strike at your eye, so you don't want to do that. All right, so now what's happening is she's she's a little agitated, but she realizes I'm not gonna hurt her. She hasn't musked me at all, but she could get a little crazy, so I'm trying to just I'm trying to keep her, if I can get her to calm down and just feel very well handled here, like I'm holding her, she doesn't feel like she's gonna fall. I could get away with it. I'm smelling a little bit of musk maybe from her, but I think she's actually relaxing a little bit. I haven't handled her that much. Oh, this I think it's a boy.
It's a boy.
This is a boy. I haven't handled him that much. The granites can be a little bit more frisky. They seem to calm down the bigger they get. That's what I find. Albinos tend to be really, really, really chill. But once again, yeah, she's musking a little bit. I could smell. She's not spraying or anything like that, but she's letting go of some scent. And I don't know what that really means in terms of like aggression or whether she's just scared and it comes out of her. But she's calming down now. You can tell. She's like, all right, well, you know what? He's not hurting me. He's holding me pretty well. She just ate a nice, so I gave her a small rat too the other day, so he's not hungry or anything like that. And hypogranites, to me, are one of the prettiest Burmese pythons because they almost look albino, but they're not. The granite pattern is really cool, first of all, and then the hypo really kind of takes away that dark melanin, and it just gives them a really, really nice look. And I just always liked the hypogranites. She's also possible het albino and het green, which is the patternless.
He.
I don't know why I keep calling her she. It's my terrible sexist conditioning. They call everything beautiful she. All right. See? We calmed her down. You gotta just be patient with these guys. Whenever Pablo takes these out or tries to clean them alone, they bite the crap out of them all the time. And I think he does. I don't know if he doesn't have the patience, or they smell the Puerto Rican food on him. I don't know.
They started whipping.
Yeah, they can be. You got to really be patient with these guys, and you can't be afraid of them. They sense fear right away. If they think you're afraid, they will slash and go crazy, and they'll spray you. They'll poop on you.
Oh yeah.
It's funny how the big ones don't do that though. Like when they get older, the bigger they get, the more calm they get. It's really amazing. So you can see he's completely chill now. He's flicking his tongue. He's not essing up anymore. He's like, oh, this is kind of cool. This guy's good. He's treating me well, and I'm supporting him well. Nice pink tongue. All right, we're gonna put him back.
Let's try the other one.
Yeah.
See how this one goes.
All right, here's another hypoberm male we have. So, and once again, you see now he feels threatened. So this is what's going on. There's a threat going on here. I've exposed him. He feels threatened. So what I want to do is I want to cover him up when I pick him up because I don't want him to know that I'm trying to hurt him. This one's a little crazier for sure. He's actually more beautiful than the other one. He's actually got really nice coloration. He's probably going to start pooping. Okay. I don't want to hold him too tight because then he's going to think I'm restraining him. I don't want to restrain him. But he is going crazy, and that's okay. Let's let it get. It's like my son. He's got to get it out. He got me. He definitely bit me. He's got to get it out of his system. Okay. But you can't let go of him either, because if you let go of him, he's gonna escape. So I'll hold him over the garbage because he might poop. All right, well, he's not in a good mood. All right, so when a snake is not in a good mood like this, you don't want to fight him and restrain him because it's gonna get ugly. You see, he's going for the bite.
Nice.
He went for the bite. Okay, so now what I have to do is I'm just gonna hold him here while Pablo cleans his cage. Let him. He's constricting me, but at least he's not biting me. I don't care. He can hold me all he wants. He's actually biting himself, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we'll clean his cage, and this means that he's not in the mood to be held. Okay, so it's all right. The other one I was able to kind of break him down a little bit. This one is not in the mood, so we'll clean his cage and we'll put him back. That's all. Okay. Now, once again, this is not a good positive encounter, so sometimes things don't go well. I don't know if he's got blood on him from me or if he's got blood on him from him biting himself like a dummy. He's literally biting himself. He's biting himself. So At this point, just because I don't want him to get hurt, what I'll probably just pour a little water on him. Let's see if we can get him to release himself. Okay. He thinks he's got me, but he really doesn't. So he might try to grab me after he lets go, which is not good, but
Well, that would be good for the video.
yeah, that might be good for the video, not good for my hand. Okay, so I think he's going to let go now. He understands now that he doesn't really have me. He's squeezing me, but he's actually he's biting himself. So once again, he's got to learn that he doesn't have me, that I'm not a predator, I'm not trying to hurt him, and the only way he's going to do that is he sees that I'm not trying to make any violent moves, I'm not trying to pry him off myself, which is good because he's not really hurting me. He's only hurting himself at this point. I got a little nick from him, but I don't really have any. There's nothing really terrible. Right, let's see. Let's get him off himself. Okay, there he goes. There he's off. Look at that. Look at that mouth. Okay, I'm letting him calm down. He wants to try to exert control over me, is what he's trying to do. He's holding me tight, but I want him to understand that I'm not a predator. I'm not trying to hurt him. And I want to turn this negative encounter into a positive encounter. So when I put him back in his tub, I wanted to say, okay, you know what? It started out bad, but it ended with in a good way, not in a bad way. And if that happens, then the next time I take him out, he's going to say, oh, this guy is not so bad. Maybe I overreacted. Because these snakes think. They do think. They react a lot, but they think. You can see now, he's not like trying to re-bite me or anything like that. He's just like surveying what's going on here. A lot of tongue flicks now. Tongue flicks are good. That usually means he's feeling okay. Okay, now what we're going to try to do is I'm gonna put him in his tub because he's comfortable in his tub. Oh, okay. Maybe he doesn't want to go in the tub, but we're gonna little by little we're gonna put his hide box. Oh, he's still not happy. Put his hide box here. Maybe we'll go into his hide box. We can get him to go into his hut. The key is I'm not reacting. Even though I don't want to get bit, I'm not reacting. If I react, he's going to get aggressive with me because he's scared. So I'm trying to get him to hopefully this is his tub. He knows the smell of his tub. Maybe he'll let go and he'll just, there he goes. Now he's not hungry because I just fed him yesterday. So this is not a hunger thing. This is an aggression thing or a dominance type of thing. So what I want to do is I want to unwind him very gently so that he doesn't feel stressed. Okay, now we're going to try to end on a positive encounter here. We're going to put him back. No one hurt him. I didn't grab him. I didn't try to hold him too tight. I let him hold me, and that's it. All right. Now, some people would say that wasn't a positive encounter, but he was very aggressive. He was very nervous. He was trying to exert his dominance, but I didn't restrain him in any way. I didn't hurt him. I poured a little water on him, calmed him down a little bit, and that was an encounter. Now, what I need to do is every day I need to have an encounter with him. I don't handle these as much as I probably should, but I'm going to work with this boy now so that we can get him into a better condition. And that's how you work with a difficult snake. I actually like working with snakes that are a little like this, that have an attitude, because you know what? When you win them over, they'll be the best snake that you have. I won a Burm over. I sold her when the whole Burm law came down in Florida. I was only able to keep 6. I sold the girl, but this girl was the nastiest girl. She had a clutch of eggs, and then I worked with her and worked with her and worked with her, and she was the best snake I had. She loved coming out. She would come out and just like rub her nose against me. You got to work with these animals. That's all there is to it. They have to trust you. They might not trust anyone else, but they'll trust you because they'll know your smell and they'll know that you're not there to hurt them, and that's the key. All right, we're cleaning. Look at this beautiful IMG Scoria. Oh my God, this thing has gotten so incredible looking. I haven't really looked at it that much recently, and it's just gotten darker and darker. It's the only IMG Scoria that I have that is actually this black. Most of them don't get black. They kind of just intensify the black lines on them that will get blacker. But look at this tail. Oh my God. This thing is turning black. And Scoria, remember, dilutes color, it removes pattern. IMG usually cannot put that back to this degree in a Scoria, and it's doing it with this one. Wow, look at that tail. That is bad ass, if you ask me. That's the darkest Scoria I've ever seen. I'd like to see any of you guys out there if you have any IMG Scorias that are darker than this one. I don't think I've seen one. That is really, really nice. All right, we're gonna put this one back. That is gorgeous. All right, last snake of the day. IMG Motley VPIT positive. Maybe my favorite combination of all. I've shown this snake to you before. I love her. I can't get enough of her, to be honest with you. She's so beautiful, this thing. The combination of the Motley gene with the IMG and the VPIT positive, because you know IMG and Motley want to make a black snake so bad, but the VPIT positive, which is a T positive albino, will not allow everything to turn black, and so you get this great contrast going. And you know I love contrast. Look at the tail, striping, just so cool. Look at that head. Look at that. Unbelievable. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It wasn't a super long one, but it was really, I thought it was, cool stuff. I got some cool stuff, and I sometimes forget how cool some of my stuff is. And I try not to show you the same cool stuff all the time, If it was up to me, I'd be showing you like super fire diamonds all the time. I'd be showing you my blizzards, because I love white boas. But, I like to find some of the esoteric stuff that I'm not really, I don't look at on a regular basis sometimes. And I hope you guys learned something from the Burmese Python behavior video I did. I did get bit a few times, but no, seriously, you're always going to have snakes that are tough cases where they want to basically dominate you. They want to, just be pissy and in a bad mood all the time. And people get scared of that. And then when you get afraid of it, you don't handle the snake. And every time you open the tub, you're timid with it. And the snake senses your fear. And you get this adversarial relationship that develops. And as the snake gets older, it just, it gets stuck in its ways like all of us, what old people do. And it doesn't change. So what you need to do is when you have a snake that is acting that way, you have to slowly but surely gain its trust. You have to let it know you're not a predator. You have to let it know that you're there to help it. You're here to feed it, to clean it, and to be its friend. And I don't know if snakes really know about friendship, but I do know that when I work with snakes and I slowly but surely earn their trust, I can open the tub and stick my hand in there and I never get bit. Now, I'm not telling you to do that. You never just stick your hand in the tub, especially with a big snake. You let it know you're there, you're not there to feed it, and then you can take it out. So these two Burmese Pythons that I have, they're I'm still working with them. And I haven't really worked with them that much, but I wanted to show you how you can work with them. Pablo gets bitten every single time because he's afraid of them. And they know he's afraid of them. And I refuse to be afraid of them because I just don't care if I get bit or not. I don't want to get bit, but I don't care if I get bit. And so they know that right off the bat. And I try to approach them with a very peaceful attitude. And I try to let them know I'm not there to hurt them. And if they want to, musk on me and they want to try to take a few bites, that's fine. But I'm not going to overreact and get physical with them and restrain them because that's going to create a bad experience for them. And that's really the same thing as far as goes with training with regard to water monitors. And that's what I'm working on with my albino water monitors. And I get that technique from Kevin McEarley. I got to give him full credit for that. I mean, he is the master at basically socializing reptiles. I've learned a lot from him and his techniques. And if you apply them, they work. And that's really what it's all about. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give us a shout out, subscribe, put a comment below, hit that like button, turn on your notifications. Guess what? I'll see you back Monday morning. Have a happy Labor Day.